Yo! Video games.
How much we don't want you.
Yeah, Wolverine was in Marvel 2 twice, and both of them were awful. Feral Ripper, thank you, dude. Feral Ripper.
Oi, play!
Kenny's Drip, thank you for the 10. Go
Kenny's
Drip.
Drip.
No more compliments for Kenny.
What?
No one's allowed to compliment Kenny anymore.
Don't do it.
Marvel
Thank you for the
superheroes.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
What was I? I
Marvel
was a
superheroes.
Spider-Man main and a Psylocke main.
Don't do it.
Shit.
And I forgot all the characters.
Yeah, Turbo Force Show.
Oh, show.
Oh, show.
How many
I didn't get the
X-Men are
dark
in this?
4?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Chad, how do you get the dark Spider-Man? There's like a way to get the dark Spider-Man. I forgot how to do it.
Nearly half. You've got like a weird-ass Doctor Strange,
Kenny!
Ghost Rider.
I'm not playing it, fool. I'm putting it. It was stuck on the mode. I didn't want you to get screen burn. I'm putting it in the track.
All right.
You shut up. I'm worried about your system.
All right.
I know these things.
All right.
Yeah.
This thing is so fucking cool. So anytime I want to play Capcom Classics, we just fire this up. Done. Which will maybe be every stream.
Right.
Possibly every stream, chat.
Chad, Psylocke is everybody's favorite. For a reason.
Psylocke is the character that everyone's always loved in all these games, because she's like the sickest ninja girl.
You know what's funny? She gets about as much love in the movies as Gambit.
Yep.
Actually, it's worse for her. Because Gambit actually had dialogue in one of them.
Ah, fuck. I don't know what it's in.
Yeah, she's a cool character, man. Super armor.
This or the arcade one-up cab? Well, the arcade one-up cab is like, so for anyone that wants to get all of this stuff practically and like actually in a package that isn't, you know, emulation on your computer, the cabinets are good novelty, right? They're good novelty and they play very well. But this is not emulation, right? That is the difference. This is a very expensive alternative for enthusiasts, right? Like this is kind of specifically if you love these games and you want to play them the original way they were supposed to be played. This is like enthusiast shit. The only reason we could ever get this to be done is because you guys are crazy supportive. But the cool part is that we can actually show it off and make it streamable, you know?
This is the first time I've ever seen that, Max, where the heavies actually make the projectile slower.
What?
Yeah. This is a heavy.
Oh yeah, and the projectile isn't as fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the lights are faster.
The reason that on Spider-Man is because the heavy web traps you for longer.
Ah, gotcha. Look at that, that's super fast.
Yes. For example, chat, just this piece of machinery costs about 4 of those. 4.
Because that's twice as many games, too.
4 of those arcade one-up cabinets is what it takes to get the mods done on one of these. The normal CPS 2 port itself isn't that expensive. You can go find one. But there is so much modding and expensive hardware involved that goes into making this. It's not just, oh, you just get to play the games and you get HDMI output. No, it's the fact that you have to power all those HDMIs. You have to add the power adapter onto it. You have to solder all the shit onto the board. You have to add a screen that makes it selectable. It's very expensive. This is one of those things that I was like, I had been collecting the parts for this for 2 years.
Jeez.
To the point where I eventually like, oh, the thing's available. I'm gonna go buy it. And then I bought it, and then I'm gonna send all the pieces to him.
Clown College.
Oh, God.
So the crazy part about this game...
Yeah, see, look, the dark fucking Spider-Man. I don't know how to get it.
Press kicks.
All kicks?
Maybe
3 Avengers, 4 X-Men, and 2 random weirdos.
2 fucking weirdos.
2 weirdos.
So,
and
did
Spider-Man.
you see the interview with the Capcom employees about this game?
This one?
Yeah, they had the one like they had the one-to-one interview with like the old Street Fighter devs. They go all the way to X-Men: Children of the Atom and Marvel Superheroes. They pretty much stop before X-Men versus Street Fighter.
Well, I remember the big Twitter thread that went on forever, and it was talking.
Yeah, well, I think it's one of those devs that was a part of the interviews. So there's like a verbal history of X-Men: Children of the Atom, and they talk about Marvel superheroes in it. Dude, it's crazy how Capcom just went nuts with it because there was one dude at Capcom that loved Marvel Comics.
Yeah.
And essentially educated all the Capcom guys on it to the point where they found it cool. They wanted to do really cool shit. So the same thing happened for Marvel superheroes. They wanted to do weird characters like Blackheart and stuff, and Marvel wasn't okay with it, but Capcom just did it anyway.
So they did it without their permission?
They did it without their permission. They just like did it anyway.
Well, I remember like they said they wanted to like Shuma was a big one. And they were,
Shuma,
like,
Blackheart, these weird characters and shit.
The people at Marvel at the time were like, who?
Yeah, Marvel apparently wasn't very happy with Punisher because it was too violent.
Yeah.
They were not happy with that. So they were worried that the next games, like the Capcom was going to go crazy with these, even though they weren't performing very well. X-Men Children of the Atom did very well. And it's such an interesting, like, they literally talked with the producers at Marvel at the time and the Capcom guys that were making the shit at the time, like the directors and stuff. It's such a cool interview.
That's how you build a relationship.
I mean, Marvel was pretty much fucking bankrupt at this point.
Marvel,
so, like,
Marvel
really
was like just happy that shit was happening for the most part.
Dude, that's how you build a relationship with a company, you know? Like, you build the stuff that they kind of see as, oh, this is useless, we're not going to use that and shit like that. And they figure out how to actually make it fun or interesting. Ooh, let me get this. And my health back. Yeah.
They didn't, from what I understand, I don't think they wanted to put Punisher in these games because they wanted to like not use as many guns. It was like very anti-injustice. There's not a lot of gun characters or projectile characters in any of the Versus games. Like, until Cable shows up. But he's got like a laser gun, you know?
A big fucking dumb laser gun.
I'm a laser man.
Marvel almost went bankrupt. Yes, Marvel in the 90s was desperate. They were super desperate. That's why they sold Spider-Man to 20th Century Fox for $20,000.
People realize like Marvel didn't used to be owned by Disney.
Marvel was not owned by Disney. Marvel was huge in the early 90s, and then the comic book crash happened, and then they got fucked. And they weren't making any money. Sorry, Sony. Yeah, they sold Spider-Man to Sony for very, very little money.
I give it
at least the licensing rights.
Yeah, $20,000.
It was very cheap, dude. Or Columbia, technically. Yeah, now that it's different.
TriStar, yeah. Paramount.
Oh, yeah.
The universe up there. Galaxy. How do you use gems, Steve?
Quarter circle back, and he did it before.
Quarter circle back mediums?
Quarter circle all punch buttons.
Yeah. Oh, it's like
and you have to like hit them at the exact same time.
Yeah.
That's the thing with these old games. Like if you want to hit multiple buttons to get a move out, all the buttons have to be hit on the same fucking
It's
frame.
not like two and then but if you do three, it's okay. No, you have to do all three of them or it won't work.
You know,
and if you go to an arcade in the machine and the buttons didn't work,
literally screwed.
Yeah, you couldn't do anything. It's fucking great.
You know, it's kind of poetic that we're playing this as our first game back, and literally these are the games that we all met.
Yeah.
Playing it like arcades.
On this actual hardware.
Yeah, on this actual hardware is pretty much how we all met. Playing arcade games.
No one, I mean, I know he existed, and I know he had like a cartoon in the 70s or whatever the fuck. No one knew who the fuck Iron Man was.
Iron Man was never popular until the movie.
No.
I remember him showing up in these games.
He was
like,
the
Aquaman
Aquaman of Marvel.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
He was just like he's there.
We had one friend who knew about and liked Iron Man a lot years before the movie came out.
That's true.
Look at this stage. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Blackheart, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
These poor bastards down here.
Yeah.
God, dude, this mod is so sick.
Mm-hmm. Oh, look at that dive kick.
I'm telling you, like, there's some ports, there's like emulation, and they're all solid. Like, if you don't, I mean, like, I'm saying, like, this is kind of pricey, you know. So I'm saying, I'm not saying
funny,
this is the only way to go.
As much as my car did, my
Those
first
four-
car.
Yeah, his first car.
Those foreground fire effects, they're not using transparencies, it's mesh.
Yeah, it's mesh, and also a bit of parallaxing when you jump up.
Yes, Kenny, that's true. You're lucky that that's true.
Iron Man.
Whoa, look at that. Oh, parallaxing right up there.
I'm
I
curious.
don't have a joke call,
I'm
really?
guessing CPS could do transparencies, but it's interesting that
It was old, man. This is
even
like
then, but well, it's like we were talking about when we were getting tacos.
Early
it's like
90s.
They were doing mesh because on a CRT screen, you would never fucking know
tell.
that was mesh and not.
Yeah, Iron Man wasn't even that popular.
Nobody liked the Iron Man cartoon.
No one
knew anything.
Like X-Men or Spider-Man.
Yeah, X-Men is like the Iron Man cartoon came out. I was like, oh, you know, hey, whatever. But it was all about
It was a B-level Marvel character.
It was all about X-Men and Spider-Man.
Pretty much.
You know, Hulk was a lot more popular than Iron Man. Yeah, Hulk. Yeah, very true. Yeah, maybe Hulk. No, you know what? Comic nerd.
Hulk was more popular than Iron Man in the 90s.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
Wow. It actually worked.
Yeah, Thor was also kind of for nerds. No, don't get me wrong. Yeah, Fantastic Four. I think Fantastic Four is probably a little bit more popular than Iron Man.
Jesus, that's super 0 fucking frames. My God.
Instantaneous
Instant.
super. What's a cherry? I forgot.
Which name is this Battletoads?
Oh, wow.
Magic counter.
Right?
Counters in this game?
Alpha counter.
Yeah,
no,
90s is X-Men and Spider-Man as fuck, especially because Venom and then Venom came out and made Spider-Man even more popular. And then McFarlane helped push Spider-Man as well.
Yeah, it was McFarlane toys at the time.
Well, yeah, not even like even way before. Like,
Oh,
when
well, yeah, and in the comics.
Yeah, McFarlane's Spider-Man.
Reality Jeff.
Silver Surfer? Silver Surfer
He
was,
was super big in the early 90s.
yeah, he was a little bit more popular than Iron Man. But goddamn, dude, the Marvel Cinematic Universe fucking shot Iron Man to the stratosphere.
But even in the comics, he was like kind of prevalent. It's just that outside of it, no one really cared.
Dude, like, even in the comics, nobody gave a shit about
That's
Iron
what I'm
Man
saying.
in
Like
the
outside
90s.
of it, like, but he was.
Like, in the comics, everyone was about Silver Surfer and X-Men in the early 90s.
Yeah, like the fan base was like, yo, this like.
Like,
this
those
freaking
were the
guy.
sellers, like,
Yeah.
not Iron Man. No one was reading Iron Man.
Or Captain America. Captain America.
I put it on normal. No.
Captain America, like Captain America was there,
Yeah.
nobody cared about Captain America. Nobody cared. I mean, not like I said, not nobody, Chad. Of course, there's people.
There's always
I know.
someone. I did.
Yeah.
I liked it. I'm like,
Yes, we know. We
Never
know.
apologize, Kenny. No one.
Yeah, no one. Right? I'm just like.
Say no, and it, like, basically meaning it was underground.
Yes,
It was a cult following it at best.
because Captain America went past his age, the golden age.
Yeah. Like, they didn't know what to fucking do with Captain America. He was just seen as, like, kind of lame at that point.
That
Yeah.
point, yes, he was. His stupid helmet and the dumb little fucking bird thingies. It's so
He had,
dumb.
like, this really shitty movie that came out in the early 90s, like, direct-to-video.
So did Iron Man. You remember the old school fucking Iron Man movie?
Well, you know who was more
was
popular
so
than
ass.
Iron Man? Punisher.
Punisher's pretty popular. in the
Punisher
90s.
was way more popular.
There's a reason why they made the
yeah.
Punisher game.
Yeah,
Punisher was huge.
Punisher was way huge. He was way more popular than Iron Man. Yeah, like Captain America was like popular and like.
God, Captain America
Wait.
is so stupid, dude. Dumb character.
Cap was dumb before the Marvel Cinematic
You know what's funny? Who
Universe.
started making these
He was
characters
goofy.
popular was Capcom.
Yeah, it's
Cap-
honestly true. Like, these games help elevate these characters to audiences that never really knew or cared about them.
Capcom helps make these characters much more popular.
Oh my god, what is a super?
At least for us arcade kids.
Oh yeah, first arcade kids, yeah. Charging Star!
Fireball
Shield
forward,
Slide!
Shoryu. I'm sorry, Fireball forward kicks or uppercut with punches. Reality Jam.
I mean, most people didn't even know who U.S. Agent was until Marvel vs. Capcom.
I didn't know. I don't know who the hell US Agent was until this shit. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, is this like weird alter America? It is.
That actually hit her. That
Yeah,
actually
like,
hit her.
But like Marvel vs. Capcom is such a it's
So
an
is he
amazing
like a
bridge.
good guy
It's a
or an
gateway.
anti-hero or what's
It's like an anti-hero.
Yeah. He's almost like Batman. You know, like not Bruce Wayne Batman, Thomas Wayne Batman.
father.
Yeah.
Oh, come on now.
Yeah, exactly. Captain
Yeah, it's
America,
Captain
that
America
kills.
with a gun.
Yeah, with a gun. Just like Batman with a gun.
Yeah.
Thomas Wayne Batman. He's right, Itachi. Like, honestly, this game got us to read more comic books. Got us interested in more characters.
Well, the only side of Marvel that I never really ever paid attention to or kept up with was like X-Men, and I only really kept up with the X-Men books until like issue 25 to 30, because that's after Wolverine got his adamantium ripped out of him.
Bro,
by
you
Magneto.
had to buy that comic.
You had to.
That comic came out
Fatal
and
Attractions
you
was
fucking
huge.
had to buy it. It had a hologram on it.
Yeah.
You saw Wolverine getting fucked up.
Wolverine getting like practically killed. It was like,
killed.
oh my god.
That was a comic when
Next!
when you
Next.
saw it in the store, you had to buy that. It's got a hologram.
Mandatory.
It was mandatory.
Oh, I remember the hologram shit. Holy
Yeah.
shit, yeah.
To select hidden colors, press up and for 3 seconds, and the character on the top. Let's go.
Here, let's try it.
I honestly stopped collecting
Yeah.
comics in the early 90s.
And also, that Wolverine cover right there, you had to buy that shit. And then you drew it. Anybody who was fucking somewhat interesting in drawing, you drew that Wolverine.
We'll put some good shit on here. Yeah. Yeah.
You saw that Wolverine?
That Magneto
no,
cover.
Magneto. My bad.
Magneto cover. Yeah, Jim
Magneto
Lee's
doing this.
His Magneto cover is like one of the most iconic comic book images
Jim
ever
Lee's
made.
Magneto cover. You saw that shit, and I'm buying that right now, and you drew that shit. It was so clean, dude. As any kid.
Squints.
Yeah, there was, just
they
like
can't see
there
it.
was a period getting into like getting into the mid 90s where I don't know if it was the same for other people, but for like me and my brother and,
We'll try to take it off, Kenny.
and others, like there was just like this burnout period where we
it's
just
a little
kind of
too tall
like
for me.
stopped fucking
Yeah.
reading
Let it rock.
collecting
Let it rock.
comics.